Hello, how you doing? Right, this is day 9 of my wee videos type thing. I don't know why I'm speaking like a robot. Uh, I'm kind of doing it sitting down. I've been kind of sitting up and doing it and trying to look professional, but I'm half sleeping, and I thought I better just do this, um, just for consistency. I've actually missed a day or two because yesterday I was watching the football. I was at a friend's house watching the football. Scotland playing the Czech Republic in the Euros. They get beat, which is kind of a Scotland for you. But I had a few beers, so I had a day off, and I thought I'd do it now. And what was I going to talk about today? There wasn't much in the book about what to do today, so I'm just going to talk and see what happens. The things that I thought about talking about was the things I find fascinating. Like, see, when you want to do something, um, there's a thing I'm thinking about. Let me think, because I'm kind of thinking on my feet here. I decided just to press the button and go, right, which is sometimes a good thing to do. You can plan it sometimes. See, I think, right. This is my thinking, right. I think there's a cross between being creative and doing stuff. There's a a point, or there's a balancing act between perfection and just doing it. So that's what I'll talk about, right? So there could be something that's 100% planned, right? You can have talking about stand up, for example, right? I run workshops, and I've seen people doing stand up over the years, and there's a thing where people are too planned, they're too perfect. So they've wrote a stand up set and they've rehearsed it to death, and it sounds very very robotic. So they have every single word, every bit of timing perfect. So they have it all done perfect, but it sounds very robotic. It sounds unnatural because they aren't reacting to what's going on with the audience. So it sounds kind of, hello, my name is John. I have an idea. So it sounds a bit like that. And it's the same with public speaking as well. Like I've been to like Toastmasters thing, and they talk about everything too. For me, it's too mechanical. Like they talk about every pause, every time you say or air. They talk about hand gestures. But when I see them doing all these things and learning it, it becomes very, you know, it's kind of it works, but there's something not quite right about it because it's unnatural. So there's a cross between that being kind of prepared and unprepared. So there's a natural side where you're just talking, which sometimes can sound a bit rambly, if that makes sense, which is maybe what I'm demonstrating in this video. So this sounds a bit rambly. So if I'm a wee bit, so I think there's a good balance. I think being prepared, slightly prepared, and a wee bit rambly. There's a kind of magic point in there somewhere. So this video is a bit rambly, which is fine. Another thing I was going to talk about. I hope that made sense. Leave me a comment if you think if this rambly video makes sense about planning too much versus not planning at all and finding a balancing point in between somewhere, especially when it comes to speaking. Because there's another thing where there's people I know that they need things to be prepared perfect before they actually do it, and what the results in, they spend years and they're never quite ready and they never do it. So people say, I'll do it when I don't feel ready. I went, no, that's the only way you do it is to go out and do it. And that's when you become ready, by doing it and feeling uncomfortable, a bit like this video. Right. Another thing that I just thought about talking about was getting in the right frame of mind for doing a specific task. And there's a book I read a while ago, I might read it again, called The Alter Ego by Todd somebody. And it's about, when you do a specific thing, it could be it could be anything. If there's something you need to do a task, it's about creating an alter ego that does the task for you. So there's the example of like Beyonce, first example I could think of. Like Beyonce was she'd be a big famous singer, superstar, kind of good, sexy, and does all the dancing and stuff. But when she started, she was in a choir. She was brought up in a kind of Christian, kind of strict religious family, and she used to go to the choir and sing, and everybody would come to watch her singing in the choir, kind of religious songs and stuff. But then she got involved in a group. I can't remember. Was it Destiny's Child? I think. And so they got involved in this kind of girl group, but she found it awkward to kind of do the kind of provocative dancing and the kind of provocative kind of onstage persona that she had to do to become that on stage thing. So she created a character. I think I don't know the exact. She called this character. I think it was Sasha Fierce Sasha Fierce or something. That's what it says in the books. It might be something. So she created this character, Sasha Fierce, that kind of took over as she went on stage, and she kind of stepped out the way, and this character took over on stage, and it was like channeling kind of thing. And she found that even that if she got hurt herself on stage, if she kind of hurt her leg or something, she wouldn't really feel the pain until she came off stage because Sasha Fierce was there. It was kind of took over, and I find that fascinating. And I think I do it when I'm on stage doing stand up. Yeah, I could be quite kind of nervous. I'm not nervous, quite quiet, kind of reserved off stage. But then once I hit the stage, something happens. I become this kind of crazy. I don't know, kind of. I don't even know what his name is. Obi. I don't know if I'm Obi or, but he comes this kind of extended version of me where the inhibitions are gone, and he says things. He goes a bit crazy. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. So this character kind of appears for the 20 minutes or hour I'm on stage. But then I come off stage, he disappears, he just leaves, he just buggers off. So it's interesting. And sports people do it as well. I can't think of any examples, but sports people kind of create a character that kind of gets them on stage, and it's fascinating. It's worth looking into. So the alter ego by Todd something. Look into it, and he also talks about kind of creating characters for different things. So there's like there's some businessman he was talking about. So there's a businessman, entrepreneur guy who was like an animal, like a beast in a good way, who took control of things in the entrepreneurial world, got things done, was very specific about how things get done. But the only problem with that is he took that character home with him. So he would become this kind of dominating kind of character at home, and it could have caused kind of kind of it caused problems in his marriage with his kids and his family and stuff like that, because this kind of efficient, kind of focused guy in the workplace didn't really suit the family life. So he actually, with this guy Todd, he actually helped him to create the alter ego, or create the new character that he had to use at home. So I think it's good that you can use different characters for different places. Because it's mental, because when I do stand up, I become this kind of monster. But during the day just now, I've not done stand up for a year and a bit because of the COVID thing. But during the day just now, I'm kind of boring. I'm doing my Just Eat job, and I've got a kind of boring character. I don't know. He just kind of wanders about. He goes into shops, restaurants to pick up food. Doesn't really talk to anybody very much. Quite reserved, unsociable. Not unsociable. He talks, but it's kind of very kind of low key version of me. But then if they seen the stand up guy, it'd be totally different. It's crazy. Different characters, same person. Madness. Anyway, I think that's me for day 9. I hope you enjoyed it, and I kind of got there. I didn't really plan anything, but that's good sometimes just to go for it and see what happens. So comment on this, tell me what you think. And remember, the 90 days I have to create, my impossible project is to sell 5,000 tickets for shows round about Scotland and England, which is scary. Even when I say that, I get this kind of, ooh, you mental, you crazy. But I'm going to push for it and see what I get. Even when I feel low and kind of demotivated, I need to keep going. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for day 10. Thank you.